The president of Sri Lanka is appointing a committee to probe new allegations regarding the deadly Easter Sunday bombings back in 2019. The commission will be led by a retired Supreme Court judge. The move comes after a recent British TV program made claims about the deadly attack, saying in part that Sri Lanka's intelligence services knew about the strike and did nothing to prevent it, all in an effort to impact the presidential election later that year. Nearly 270 people were in the targeted strikes on Catholic churches and a hotel. Joining us now is Edward Clancy, Director of Outreach at Aid to the Church in Need, who has been following this story from the start. Ed, great to be with you again. So talk to us more about these recent claims made on British TV program. Were you at all surprised, Ed?
No, not at all. In fact, in 2016, the Christian community had warned the government that there was radical Islamic groups in some of the mosques fermenting the type of violence that happened in 2019. And then 2 weeks prior to the Easter bombings, India had provided intelligence to the Sri Lankan government. They even went as far as to list the names, addresses, and locations of the likely bombers, and nothing was done. And then after it, the then president promised a complete investigation, and for a year nothing happened. Of course, that followed with COVID, and then nothing has happened for 3 years. So this is actually 6 years in the making.
Ed, why do you think this information is coming out just now?
I think it's a combination of politics and also opportunism. You have the current president, who was prime minister at the time of the bombings. At that time, the president had kept him out of the security briefings. So his contention was that he didn't have any knowledge of the bombings. So now, in a sense, it's the political football that he can use to advance his cause, saying that he's doing something. Of course, it's almost 4 years after it happened. It's a little too late and maybe a little too little.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on this new commission? I mean, how effective do you think it will actually be?
You have to be hopeful, but just looking at the way things have gone within the government there's slight bit of hope. I don't think it's an exceeding amount of hope. So, we're going to have to trust that some evidence will come out, even if it's for political expediency, to show the truth, and maybe somebody will get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, what would you like to see done about all this, Ed?
Obviously, we would like to find those radical groups that are still present in Sri Lanka that are going to be targeting the Christians and other groups, and also for the church, the state there to do something to really help rebuild the Christian community, because they were damaged severely both by what happened on Easter Sunday and then since then because of the economic breakdown in Sri Lanka.
I'm curious, what have church leaders had to say about this, if anything, this forming of this new commission? I know one in particular, Cardinal Malcolm Ranjith, he was very outspoken following the attacks.
Yes, he was outspoken immediately and demanded that the police and the military be completely transparent and to get to the bottom of it. Of course, his words fell on deaf ears for the most part. Right at the end of that year in November, the then president resigned. Someone else took up the position. He lasted for about 4 months, and it's been a little bit of a revolving door. So there's really been no leadership, a lot of infighting. So unfortunately, the church is at the mercy of a government that doesn't seem to want to do what it should be doing.
Do we know what comes next here, Ed? Is there any kind of timetable when it comes to this commission?
Nothing is really known so far. I know that they said that they're looking for a 3-month investigation period, but again, I don't know what that means. So it's going to be see what comes, and hopefully this judge is a competent and honest person that will seek the truth.
Well, Ed, great to be with you. Thank you so much. It was very informational. We appreciate it.
Thank you. You're very welcome.